This is the best Team Canada ever put together for the World Junior Championship.
The celebration begins. Canada is on top of the hockey world.
In hindsight, it feels inevitable.
No Team Canada has dominated the way that head coach Brent Sutter's team has dominated from start to finish. They went through this entire tournament like a hot knife through butter.
Canada too big, too strong, too fast, and way too skilled.
This collection of players in 2005 in Grand Forks, North Dakota, made a mark, not only on this tournament, but on the game of hockey.
Make no mistake, this is an unbelievably talented hockey team.
Becoming core members on Stanley Cup and gold medal winning teams for a decade to follow.
Sidney, Crosby, and the Penguins have won the Stanley Cup.
So how did they get there? How did this World Junior team become the best ever?
Shafagulin, back to the line, drive, scores! Alexei Emelin on the power play, and the Russians are on the board.
Canada ended the first period of its 2005 gold medal game against Russia ahead 2-1.
The crowd gets quiet here in Grand Forks.
But that lead was overshadowed by ghosts of tournaments past.
Volchenkov scores!
3 straight years, Canada gave up an early lead in the gold medal game and lost.
Puck loose, they bang away at it. Pollution leaves it there. Trubachev scores! 3-2 Russia.
Twice in 02 and 03 to Russia, and then, of course, in 2004 to the United States.
Here's Patrick Sullivan in alone, and Fleury plays it away from the score! Marc-Andre Fleury plays it into Patrick O'Sullivan, and it's 4-3 U.S.
This moment was a turning point for Hockey Canada. It was a record 7th straight tournament for the team without winning a gold medal. Its last one had come in '97. For Canada and its gold or bust mentality, it inspired a new approach. Instead of accepting applications for the job of head coach, Canada handpicked its man.
The name Sutter is carrying more weight than ever in hockey circles these days, so it will be Brent Sutter who will lead Canada's 2005 World Juniors.
Brent Sutter had a bona fide hockey resume. Winner of 3 Canada Cups and 2 Stanley Cups as a player, and winner of 1 Memorial Cup as a coach. But it was his approach that sealed the deal.
I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a demanding person. My philosophy as a coach isn't going to change here.
He demands perfection and demands the best out of you every night.
This is a man who once kicked half his Red Deer Rebels off the bench midway through a blowout loss. Then for the next 3 games, replaced their fancy sticks with old wooden ones and had them write the word work on the blade.
You can say the wood sticks are awful, nobody likes the wood sticks. We never lost with the wood sticks.
I like to think that it got the message across that they can't cheat.
At Canada's summer camp that August, 2 of Sutter's players from Red Deer, teammates Dion Phaneuf and Colin Fraser, fought each other during a scrimmage. Sutter's tone was set. A month later came September 16th, a bad day for hockey, but a huge one for Canada's World Junior team.
Game off. Today in New York, just hours from a CBA deadline, emphasis on the dead part, NHL hockey officially ground to a halt.
A dispute between the NHL and its players' union that had been simmering for months finally boiled over, and the league locked out the players, meaning that Canadians who might have been in the NHL, like Dion Phaneuf, Jeff Carter, and Ryan Getzlaf, were suddenly available to play at the World Juniors, as was one Canadian who'd spent a season in the NHL as its youngest player.
Boston Bruins GM Mike O'Connell confirmed his team would release forward Patrice Bergeron and allow him to participate in Team Canada's final evaluation camp.
Patrice Bergeron already had 23 NHL goals to his name.
Picked up by Bergeron. Bergeron moving in. There's the shot. He scored!
And at selection camp, he joined a group that included a record 12 players returning from the team that had suffered that devastating 0-4 loss. All of them with a chip on their shoulder.
One of the worst feelings that you can experience coming so close to a championship and not being able to finish it off.
Unsurprisingly, every one of them made the team, as did Andrew Ladd, Shea Weber, and Corey Perry, who was added as the 13th forward after a dominating camp, and was promptly forced by Sutter to cut his hair. All told, Of the 20 skaters on the team, 19 wore a letter, and more than half of them were captains of their junior teams.
This is the best Team Canada ever put together for the World Junior Championship.
It was and remains Canada's oldest and most experienced roster ever.
Here he is again, right in front. Bergeron scores. Sidney Crosby, just when Canada needed him most.
The most important pairing in Canada's international play in a generation, Sidney Crosby and Patrice Bergeron, started at the 05 World Junior Championship thanks to Brent Sutter.
It was just a feeling I had was to room them together and put them on the same line together and see if we can form some kind of chemistry with the two.
The two had success immediately.
Crosby steaming in. Sidney Crosby still with it. Centering pass. Bergeron scores! What a feed from Sidney Crosby to Patrice Bergeron.
Dominating in their exhibition games and exploding out of the gates in Canada's first tournament game against Slovakia.
Crosby, long lead pass. In comes Bergeron. Patrice Bergeron to the forehand, scores!
Along with Corey Perry, they set the table for a lopsided round robin.
This was men against boys. It wasn't even close.
Canada destroyed the competition with firepower up and down the lineup. There were 13 different goal scorers, led by Jeff Carter, and Canada outscored its opponents 32-5 and outshot them 184-32.
This edition of Team Canada is so much better than every other team that's here. It's not even funny.
The semifinal was a 3-1 win only because goalie Merrick Schwartz stood on his head. Canada outshot the Czechs 42-11. And the final, against Alexander Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin and the Russians, in the end, it wasn't close either.
Away comes in for Leeson, short-handed. Leeson, look out! Footoff had him lined up and just missed him.
It's a double Dion.
Now the defenseman falls. Here comes Crosby. And Crosby drive. Kuznetsov the save. Rebound. Perry for Bergeron. Scores! It's a beauty.
It almost sounds like an Arnold Schwarzenegger move. Total domination by Canada.
Canada took a tournament known for its frantic style of play, its erratic and unexpected lead changes, and made it almost boring. The 05 team was an unstoppable force and an immovable object.
Of the hockey world.
And that's why they were the best.
Team Canada has absolutely annihilated everything in their way.
The gold medal in 05 was the end of a drought for Canada, its first in 8 years. But it was also the beginning of a new golden era for Canada, the first of 5 in a row, but also the beginning of several incredible careers for players on this team, and a stunning run of Stanley Cup champions. Andrew Ladd in 2006 and 2010, Perry and Getzlaf in 2007, Crosby in 09, 16 and 17, Brent Seabrook in 2010, 13 and 50, Colin Fraser in 2010 and 12, Bergeron in 2011, and Jeff Carter and Mike Richards in 2012 and 14. Shea Weber didn't win a cup, but he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And more from this team will follow him there. Yes, there have been other incredible Canadian teams at the World Junior Championship, but none are better than the 2005 team in Grand Forks.